Good afternoon. My name is Bill Sigler, and like you, I'm a student of bushcraft. What I'd like to share with you today is really an experiment. I'm a hammock camper, and in trying to work out versatility for insulation of the hammock, I came up with an amalgam of a couple different ideas for winter camping. Some of them, are just straight insulation where you wrap around, but in the theory of weight versus rate, I came up with a system that I'm going to try out today that is flexible, and it might just work. I'm going to conduct the experiment physically with me and taking temperature readings both inside the hammock and outside temperatures. So stick with me and hopefully we'll find out something useful. Okay, basically what I have here is my standard camping setup. This is a 1.9 ounce nylon hammock with webbing tied through a knot in either end, and the white webbing is polyester no stretch 1-inch webbing. I use this mainly because it grips very well, it's no stretch, and it's less damaging to trees. So I'll get my new winter setup set up and I'll show you what I got. Okay, this is the setup rigged. Basically what I did is I have my regular hammock inside the insulation part, and the idea here is to take the same material that I used to make the hammock, but instead of making a second one, I made one that acts as a shell that I can put my insulation material between the outer shell and the hammock itself. The way I rigged it, the idea is that you can vary the kind of insulation according to the time of year that you actually are going to be out. So in this example, the heaviest or the thickest one I was able to find in the way of installation was an old sleeping bag. So I sacrificed it, and basically I can still use it as a sleeping bag. It can be zipped up, but I have it rigged so that to use it hanging, I can attach it to the outer shell. Basically the way it works is this. The hammock itself is here, and the outer shell is attached to the guy lines of the first hammock. The sleeping bag is set up, like I said, so that you can zip it open and close and still go to the ground with it, but it's set up that it's actually rigged and attached to the outer shell itself. Now, the ends of it are set up so that they can be cinched up and completely enclosed, and this setup here I put in so that I could use a change between a heavyweight sleeping bag or a down bag or outer bag that I would like to use, or even for that matter a wool blanket. Now the idea here, the other idea for the attachment to keep it close to it, is Velcro straps at different points so that you can just take and fold it over, and that way once you're in the hammock it'll keep it closed. The one thing that makes it all work is a flap that comes over the top, and once you're sealed in, you pull the flap over, and there's some rock weights on either end in little pockets, and this will keep you completely enclosed and it will prevent any air from escaping. The idea here is your body will give off plenty of heat to heat up the inside, but there is not a vehicle for the wind to get to you and to take all that nice warm heat away. Okay, now as part of the experiment I am using an indoor-outdoor thermometer, and if you can see that, it's a little bit off. It says the indoor is 21.8 degrees and the outdoor is 21.2. So the idea is I have the indoor one on my chest and the outdoor probe sticking outside the hammock. So I'll get all set up and we'll show you what I got. Hopefully it'll work. I wanted to show you a shot, an end shot of what it looks like on the inside and how it cinches up. Basically, the inside shell on the end is completely open, and you can allow for air to travel in and out, or you can retract up one side, then if you can find it, where is it? Here it is. Then you can retract up the other side to completely enclose the ends. So that way, with the flap that you see hanging down flipped over the top, all of the heat inside will be completely contained. Okay, I've been in here for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, the outside temperature is about 30 degrees and the inside temperature is already 36.5. So talk to you shortly. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes now, and the inside temperature just turned to 45.5 with the outside at 22.5, and it will continue to go up. Please note that the relative humidity is 91%. That is because essentially this is a sealed cocoon. Well guys, looks like I'm fogging up pretty good now, but the outside temperature is 22.1 degrees Fahrenheit. The inside temperature is now 52.9 with a relative humidity of 92%, and it's been about 15 minutes. Okay guys, it's been about 15-20 minutes, and I'm just laying here jamming to a little bit of Fleetwood Mac, and inside temperature is 63.2 degrees, outside step temperature is 21.8 with 92% relative humidity. Everything, core temperature is very, very warm. I have no problems. I have my polypros on and my middleweight wool covering on. The only thing I would do is I would cover my feet a little bit better. They're a little bit chilly, but it's completely workable. So we're coming up on a 40 degree difference between inside and outside, and I say that's pretty darn good. Right now the outside temperature is 22 degrees and the inside temperature is 70.7, 89% humidity. So far it's working extremely well. The outside weather conditions are a very, very light snow. I wouldn't even consider it to be a snow, with no wind. As you can see, I now have 72.4 degrees on the inside and still 22.1 on the outside. Humidity's dropped down. That way you can see what you're looking at. It's 74% humidity. This is working extremely well. I'm very happy. The only difference that I might do is, and I will do, is do some waterproofing along the top, but even then that wouldn't be necessary with a tarp on top. So works very well. My core temperature is quite comfortable. Well guys, this is the last time check. You can see 68.9 degrees inside, 21.8 degrees outside with 76% humidity. I think the temperature is dropping inside because the nylon is getting snowed on, and there's a very minor bit of water penetration, but with some waterproofing that shouldn't be a problem at all. So I'm going to call this a success, and I'm going to get outside, get my boots back on, and rig up this little insulating taco or whatever you want to call it so you can get a better view. Just stand by.